Medicare, but Medicare is your most dangerous thing because health is expensive today, like it or not. You know, it costs money. So that's shot, and then pension plans are shot because they follow the stock market, and these 401ks, in my opinion, they're better than nothing, but not much better. So with all of that, I feel kind of compelled to go and educate and teach people to take care of yourself. Don't listen to Wall Street. Don't listen to the pundits who say, we'll take care of you, because you know how they take care of you.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Now, you say that you must pay a price to be wealthy. What kind of price does one have to pay to be wealthy?
Well, I always say that you need two professions today, one for you to work in. So let's say I'm work in construction, or I work in whatever, like I'm an author. But the second profession is my money. My money also needs a profession. So one of the prices a person needs to pay is you need your education not only for what you do for money, but you also need an education for your money to work hard for you. And so there's so many people who are focusing on their career, or they go back to school to then get a higher paying job, but that's only half the picture. They're not focusing on their money working hard.
Interesting.
And so I learned to have my money work hard so I don't have to work hard for the rest of my life. And I think people have their priorities backwards. They focus on career first, money second. And you don't want to be 65 and find out that you're out of money and out of time. So you've really got to look at both today, and that's what makes it hard. The price is you have to get educated or get a job with the post office, which is not bad, or the police department, and you get a 20-year retirement. That's the other price you pay.
That's a high price, too, because there's a price of time that you can't get back.
Yeah, if you really want to be a policeman, great. You really want to be a fireman, great. And you really want to be a postal service, great. You really want to be a public servant, great. But if you don't want to be, then you've sold your soul for money, and that's another price you pay.
Would you say that also in that model that it's okay if you're in an industry that you really, really love, like say social work. Social workers don't make a lot of money, but if they had another level of education for their money, they can still do what they love to do, but don't have to worry about that's where they're getting their source of income and wealth from.
Absolutely. So if you have two professions, you can work for nothing and still get rich.
Beautiful.
You know.
Talk to me about how important mindset is. I mean, it's really, that's what the whole gist of this is. It's really about opening up your consciousness and moving to another, allowing some new information in that you've never been exposed to, definitely weren't taught in school.
Right.
Can't find in your church. Well, maybe the pastor has, but not the congregants. So it's really about mindset.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, how many people have heard work hard, save money, get out of debt? I don't do any of those things.
That's right. You called, I remember my first interview with you, you said, I'm a lazy millionaire and I'm lazy by default.
Yeah.
And you like it that way.
Yeah, because the lazier I am, the more money I make.
Talk to me, Robert. I love it when you talk dirty to me. But anyway, how do you become lazy and make money at the same time?
Well, you just have to, almost question what you've been told by a lot of people. Let's look at saving money. Why is saving money bad? You know why it's bad? It's because after 1971, if you look at history, Nixon took us off the gold standard. Fundamentally what that meant was the boys, which is the Federal Reserve and the government, they can print as much money as they like. So that you're working hard, if you put money in the bank, it's going down in value, it's not going up.
Fascinating. I heard that the Fed prints $430 or $38 million per day.
Yeah, it's $50 million an hour we're losing right now as a nation.
Wow.
So they just print. That means your dollar is worth less and less and less and less. And then they say, there's no inflation. I said, have you been past the gas pump lately? Have you been looking at the cost of housing? Oil, again, and construction. Yeah. Look at who's making the money.
Fascinating.
Because they're printing so much money right now.
Yes, yes.
So that's why one of the things I learned was that you look at it. So I had to learn how to have my money work hard for me. So this is so many that subject question you ask. If I work hard for money physically, I am taxed at the highest rates possible. If my money works hard for me, I'm taxed at the lowest rates possible. So if you begin to understand that everything our parents, and they innocently said, work hard, go to school. It's not a bad advice, but it's not rich advice.
So well said.
Those are the problems. So I learned to have my money work hard for me. One of the reasons I like businesses and real estate and all that. It's not my money. I just borrow the money. So
Mm-hmm.
everybody says debt is bad. Well, there's good debt and bad debt.
Talk to me about that. I remember you saying that there's
Yeah.
a difference between good debt and bad debt.
Well, bad debt is like your home, your car, going, buying clothes
Mm-hmm.
with your credit cards and all that. It's consumer debt.
Mm-hmm.
Not that a house is bad, not that a car is bad, not that you should be clothes. You get
Yes,
arrested,
can't run around naked with a credit card.
But for some reason, bad debt is the easiest to get. Isn't that interesting?
Fascinating. How about that?
And good debt is debt that makes you rich. That's the hardest to get.
Mm.
Now, the problem with being deeply in debt with bad debt is you don't get the good debt.
Mm.
Because of a lack of education, most people leave school, and they don't know there's good debt or bad debt. They load up on bad debt.
Mm.
And then they never get ahead because they're always trying to get out of bad debt, get out of bad debt, whether they don't even know there's good debt. So one of the reasons you want to have a good credit rating, is like for me, is that when I just lost a deal, but I had a $4 million office building I was buying.
Mm-hmm.
The bank was going to give me $4 million.
Mm.
So I was going to own the building for free because I could find it.
Mm-hmm.
It took me a day to find the thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a $4 million deal. I was going to make $10,000 a month. I was going to borrow all the money. Do you know what
Amazing.
I mean? And I ask people who are savers, how long would it take you to borrow? How long would it take you to save $4 million?
Mm.
And for most people, it's forever. They'll never make it. How long does it take me to borrow $4 million? 2 weeks. So I'm getting richer faster because I have good credit and I'm borrowing money for real things that make me richer and richer.
Okay. Okay.
I have my Bentley and I have my Ferrari and
Yeah.
I have my Porsche.
Your
I like
toys,
my
yeah.
toys. But those things are stupid. And I know
To go after first and accumulate
Yeah.
bad debt with.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember you telling the story, and it was about your wife, Kim. You wanted to buy your Porsche, and I think you still have that
Yeah.
Porsche. You wanted to buy the Porsche. You talked to your wife, Kim, and said, baby, I'd like to buy this Porsche. And she said, okay, well, you need to find an asset
That buys
to
the
pay
Porsche.
for it
That's correct.
and not pay cash for it or not
That's
pay
right.
it through credit. Talk to me about that
Well,
process.
There was a Porsche. The Porsche was $50,000, and I had $50,000 in cash.
Mm-hmm.
If I had bought the Porsche, I'd lose the 50,
Mm.
and the Porsche would go down and be it. Instead, I took that 50 and I put together a syndication. We bought these mini storages with it. The mini storage then put $1,000 in my pocket every month with the 50,000.
Mm.
The 1,000 paid for the Porsche.
Nice.
Okay, so today, then and
you still have the asset.
I still have the mini storage, and guess what? The mini storage went up in value, and I borrowed out the 50,000.
Fascinating.
So I have my 50,000. I have the mini storage. I have the $1,000 a month cash flow, and I have my Porsche. If I had bought the Porsche, that might be all I have today.
Beautiful.
It is a matter of
It is a
understanding
mindset.
priorities.
Yes.